Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and history lovers. Today, we're taking a closer look at one of Australia's most iconic small coins, the 1971 Australian 2-cent coin. At first glance, this little bronze coin might seem ordinary, but behind its simple design lies a story of change, artistry, and national identity. It represents a time when Australia was finding a modern image for itself through its new decimal currency. So, in this video, we'll explore the history, design, metal composition, minting details, and collector value of the 1971 2-cent coin, a coin that's both a piece of everyday life and a part of Australia's cultural story. History: Australia's decimal changeover. To understand the significance of the 1971 2-cent coin, we need to travel back a few years earlier, to 1966. That was the year when Australia made a historic shift, moving from the traditional British-style currency of pounds, shillings, and pence to a decimal currency system, based on dollars and cents. This change wasn't just about numbers, it was about creating a modern identity for a young and growing nation. With the introduction of the new coins came an opportunity to showcase Australia's unique wildlife and culture, and that's where the 2-cent coin found its place. Designed by the celebrated goldsmith and artist Stuart Devlin, who was appointed as the official designer of Australia's decimal coin series, the 2-cent coin featured one of the most striking creatures from the Australian outback, the frilled neck lizard. By 1971, this design had already become familiar to Australians across the country. It jingled in pockets, clinked in tills, and became part of everyday transactions, from buying newspapers to paying for a tram ride. Design details. Obverse side. Let's start by examining the obverse, or front side, of the coin. Here we see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing to the right. This image was designed by Arnold Machin, a British sculptor whose elegant and youthful depiction of the Queen appeared on Australian coins from 1966 through 1984. In this portrait, the Queen wears the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece that has become iconic in royal imagery. The expression on her face is calm and dignified, representing both strength and grace, qualities that resonated deeply during this era of modernization and change. Encircling the portrait are the inscriptions Elizabeth II and Australia 1971, crisply struck into the bronze surface. The design simplicity gives it a timeless beauty. It's well-balanced, clear, and elegant even on such a small canvas. Design details. Reverse side. Now let's turn the coin over to its reverse side, where the true character of the 1971 2-cent coin shines through. Dominating the design is the frilled neck lizard, or Chlamydosaurus kingii, captured in a dynamic pose with its frill fully extended. This lizard is one of Australia's most fascinating reptiles, known for raising the frill around its head when threatened, a dramatic display that makes it appear larger and more intimidating to predators. Stuart Devlin's design beautifully captures that moment of action. The lizard's body is curved gracefully around the large numeral 2, its long tail sweeping underneath in a perfectly balanced composition. The detailed engraving shows the texture of its skin and the striking shape of the frill, making it a small masterpiece of wildlife art. This design isn't just decorative, it celebrates Australia's distinctive fauna and connects everyday currency with the natural world that defines the country. Specifications and metal composition. The 1971 2-cent coin is made from bronze, which is an alloy of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. It has a diameter of 21.59 millimeters, a weight of 5.2 grams, and a plain edge. The coin's reddish-brown color comes from its high copper content. Over the years, depending on exposure and storage, these coins may develop a darker patina or greenish tone due to natural oxidation, giving older coins a unique, aged appearance that many collectors appreciate. Mintage and availability. In 1971, the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra produced approximately 55 million 2-cent coins for circulation. That's a large mintage, making the coin relatively common at the time. However, after decades of circulation, coins in pristine condition are much harder to find. Most examples you'll see today have some degree of wear, especially on the Queen's portrait and the fine details of the lizard's frill. Uncirculated examples, those that were never used and have retained their original shine, are far more desirable to collectors. Coins with a full red mint luster are especially prized. Circulation and withdrawal. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, the 2-cent coin was a vital part of everyday transactions. You could use it for vending machines, small purchases, or just to round out change. But as the years passed, inflation slowly eroded the coin's purchasing power. By the late 1980s, it was costing the government more to produce each 2-cent coin than the coin was actually worth in circulation. In 1992, the Royal Australian Mint officially withdrew both the 1 and 2-cent coins from circulation. Although they remain legal tender, they're no longer used in everyday trade. Since then, the humble 2-cent piece has become a nostalgic reminder of a different era, when even the smallest coins mattered in daily life. Collector value and rarity. In terms of collector value, the 1971 Australian 2-cent coin isn't particularly rare, but it holds great sentimental and historical value. A typical circulated coin might be worth between 10 to 30 Australian cents, depending on its condition. However, uncirculated examples, those with strong luster, no marks, and sharp detail, can fetch between $1 and $5 AUD. Coins in proof condition, produced specially for collectors, can command even higher prices. Additionally, coins featuring striking errors, such as off-center designs, planchet cracks, or die doubling, can be of particular interest to numismatists and may be worth several dollars or more. Symbolism and design legacy. What truly makes the 1971 2-cent coin special is its symbolism. The frilled neck lizard isn't just a random choice. It embodies Australia's natural uniqueness, resilience, and diversity. It's a creature that can adapt and defend itself, thriving in the rugged landscapes of the Australian bush. Stuart Devlin's artistry gave life to that spirit. He was known for blending natural realism with design harmony, turning functional coins into miniature works of art. His vision helped create a national coinage that didn't just carry value, it carried identity. This is why the Australian decimal coins from that era, including the 1971 2-cent piece, are still admired by collectors around the world today. Final thoughts, reflection and conclusion. So, what can we take away from this small bronze coin? The 1971 Australian 2-cent coin may no longer jingle in our pockets, but it continues to echo in our history. It reminds us of a time when every coin had both practical and cultural importance.